Rubio, you know, it's the oil is a very low sheen. It's about 4 to 5% sheen level. It's not matte. It's not extra matte. It's extra matte. You know what I mean? It's a very, very natural look, natural feel. You actually feel the grain of the wood. We suggest you sand it to 120. That's what will be your final grit, 120. You can go down to 80 if you like to, but 120 is what we suggest. Okay. Don't go over 150. As soon as you go over 150, you start closing the grain, and then the oil is not going to bond to the wood. So it's very important that you do not go over 150. All right, but 120 is what we suggest. Water popping is okay if you want to water pop the floor. Somebody was asking me about alcohol. I actually water pop everything that I do. Every floor that I do, I water pop it. Raw wood cleaner is very important. Like I said, you know, the way that the oil bonds to the wood is through the molecular bond, right? It has to touch cellulose of the wood. So whenever you guys sand this to 120, you vacuum it, right? So no more sand dust, right? No more. See all the dust? When you put the oil down, the oil is going to react with dust. Okay, so this can become a problem later. So it's very important that you use the water, the raw wood cleaner to get all the dust out. So what this does, it does not water pop the floor. It just gets all this, the fine dust off the wood, okay, and does not pop the grain. So application of the oil. How you get the oil to the surface, the oil brush you see, doesn't really matter. If you want to do it with a brush, if you want to do it with a rag, if you want to do it with a buffer, if you want to do it with a trowel, does not matter, okay. It's just easier to do with a buffer. You're gonna be standing and just going down. A lot of guys, if you guys on Instagram, you're gonna see a lot of people using a trowel. So what is the difference? When you do a trowel, you're pretty much doing an extra step. What makes it easy on a trowel, you get into the edges really easy. You know what I mean? You get the oil there, you're pulling it out. You don't have to go to the edges, do the edges first. So that's the advantage of doing a trowel. A lot of guys, they think that they're using a lot less oil when they use a trowel. Okay? It's not true. We're gonna use exactly the same amount of oil. I usually put in enough oil on the floor, maybe 5 inches ring, and then I put a buffer right on top of it. So if I put the oil down over here, I usually put a buffer like this. That way I got the outer skirt of the buffer. Okay? But if you want to put the oil in the middle, it's fine also. If you're gonna use just a buffer pad, 3 steps. Okay? So most of you guys are probably using a pad and a buffer, right? So application either white or red. When can you not use the red? Over pre-call easy, okay? So you can apply the oil with the white or red if it's not enough pre-call easy, okay? And then you're gonna use a white pad to take off the excess. Every 100 square feet that you do, you're gonna use a new white pad, okay? And then you're gonna use a towel to buff off the excess again. So 3 steps. You guys have to do those 3 steps. It's very important, guys, Buff on the oil, buff off with the white, and then a towel. Of course, I'm gonna walk over this. My feet is not 100% clean. It's okay because I'm gonna be buffing off, all those. Second most important thing for Rubio, when it comes to the oil, this is the part that gets everybody in trouble. That's the part where we're getting phone calls. It's water spotting, okay? And water spotting 90% of the time is because you guys leave excess oil, okay? How long does it take for the oil to bond to the wood? You guys remember? Huh? 2 minutes, okay? So after 2 minutes, the oil does its job. It just bonds to the wood, and the excess is just sitting there, okay? So if you guys, if I want you guys to get one thing out of this class today is, working sections. If you guys can just put that in your head, working sections. That's the most important thing. Only do 100 square feet at a time, okay? If this room is, if this is 300 square feet, I'm gonna do, if I'm doing this with a buffer, usually what I do is I take the pot, from the pad, I do the edges. I have somebody do the edges. He's gonna do the edges maybe 4 or 5 inches. As soon as he gets to the other end, have another person here wiping off the excess. Okay? When I say wiping off the excess, it's actually working as hard as you can. You cannot take too much off. Guys that do a lot of Rubio jobs, they have 2 of these. One of them they use just to buff off the excess, And what that does is it's gonna have oil all over it. So you can just flip it and use this here just to buff off excess. Then you can use one pad for 200 square feet. So you're gonna save a lot of money on pads. Okay. So my suggestion is have 2 of these, and then use a buffer just use one of those just to buff off excess. That way you can use both sides of the white pad. If you guys use that the method 100 square feet at a time, you're never gonna have any problem, ever. Okay, there will never be water spotting. There will never be anything, because if you if you do 300 square feet and you apply it, you have to be done with the entire section within 15 minutes. If you're able to do 300 square feet within 15 minutes, then it's fine. But you're not going to be able to unless you have 4 buffers though. Okay, so do 100 square feet at a time. Okay, if you have 2 buffers, you may be able to get to 150 maybe. Okay, so one guy's going to be applying it, the other guy's going to jump on the right end, the other buffer and be taking off the excess, and then he's going to use the towel to take off the excess again. So make sure you just do 100 square feet at a time. That way you're safe. So if you get a phone call for water spotting, or if you get a phone call if the floor is like dirty, or if the floor looks cloudy, grabbing dirt, is because excess is on the floor. Okay? Very easy to fix, but are we here to go around fixing jobs? We're not, But if it happens, it's very easy to fix. All you're gonna do, if the floor is done within 7 days, all you have to do is just drop a little oil on the floor. It's gonna reactivate the one underneath, buff it on, just do the 3 steps again. Drop the oil, buff off the excess, and polish it with a towel.
With the accelerator?
With the accelerator, yes. It's been about 100 feet right now. You can see that the towel is already getting filled up, so that's when you're gonna have to get a new towel. The oil is gonna be dry to touch. You can walk on it 24 hours after you finish the job. Okay? If you start in the morning, you finish the job at 5 p.m. 5 p.m. next day, you can walk on the floor. Okay? Stocking feet. You can put furniture down. No rugs. Just furniture is fine. There's only one way to get sheen on the Rubio, and this is it right here. It's called the universal maintenance oil. 24 hours after you apply the Rubio, we can come back and put a coat of this. Application is exactly the same as application of the oil, but just with the white pad. White pad on, white pad off, and towel. This gets you about 800 square feet on this half a liter. Okay, the sheen level is gonna double. It's gonna go to 10 to 15%. So it's still gonna be very low, but it adds a little bit of a sheen. So it's gonna be a low satin. Question is, can I put on a traffic on top of it? Can I put can I put water base? Can I put a poly on top of Rubio? You cannot. And the reason is our product has wax. Wax and water don't mix. If you put, any monotraffic, if you put Loba, whatever on top of it, you may get delamination. Okay, so don't do it.
I did it. It doesn't. It peels off. Just so you know.
Thank you for clarifying.